Welcome to one and all present here. So today we have a CPE program on deep dive. It's episode 1, GST case study insights. So it's a deep dive. We are going to have episodes wise, like there will be episode 2 next month, episode 3, and then next month. So the thing is, those who are registered for this session will be provided an opportunity to present in the next CPE program also with another senior CA members who is going to present. After this program, a Google form will be provided to your, email to your email ID, where you can mention about the topics which you are interested in taking in a CPE program, so that everybody will be given an opportunity to present in the CPE program. Since members are asking opportunity to present, this is one of the program where we provide an opportunity to members to present in the program. So that is episode 1 starts with CA R Subramanian sir. Sir, I request you to come to the dais, sir. Before we begin the session, I would like members to rise up for the ICAI motto songs.
येष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति येष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वतदूनाति कश्चन एतद्वैता
Thank you. Before we begin the session, I would like to say a few words about CA Subramanian R. Sir. CA Subramanian R is a BSc graduate, FCA, ACMA, and a law graduate practicing as a chartered accountant since 1996. He has over 25 years of in-depth professional experience in direct tax and indirect tax practice. His area of specialization includes income tax and GST, central excise, central sales tax, and state VAT. He has delivered presentation in over 1,000 orientation seminars on GST. He has also unique distinction having trained government and private sector employees on nuances of GST. CA Subramanian regularly appears before all direct and indirect tax authorities, including CIT appeals, ITAT, CSTAT, and VAT tribunals. He also trains the GST officials of state and central government. He is also an approved valuer accredited to IBBI. CA Subramanian regularly addresses members and students in seminars, study circles, meetings conducted by auspicious of ICAI, ICMA, and Institute of Company Secretaries of India. He has been selected as GST faculty for the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India by Indirect Tax Committee. He has contributed to the preparation and publication of Technical Guide on Annual Return and GST Audit by ICAI. The Maharashtra GST Practitioner Association has also confirmed this as breast pleader. On behalf of SIRC of ICAI, sir, I thank you for accepting our invitation and taking the time to be with us today. As a token of our appreciation, I would like to invite CA P. Ramabhadran sir to kindly present a memento to CA Subramanian sir as a gesture of our gratitude and respect. Thank you, sir. The case study of CA Subramanian sir has been already forwarded to your respective mail ID for a reference also. Kindly check before the session. Sir, I would like request you to continue the session, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon. At the outset, I am thankful to SIRC chairman for giving me an excellent opportunity to share my thoughts on GST. Particularly what we are going to do today is, we are going to discuss certain interesting case laws. And it will be more interactive sessions. So therefore you are going to give me the answer. Even certain cases I do not know the answer. So therefore I am expecting answers from you. So therefore definitely it will also benefit to me. What we will do the case, all you have case studies, you have printed copies or? Printed copy kuduklayama? Mail, okay. Mail pannirren, okay. So I have case studies so that we can go through, right? So we'll go one by one case studies, interesting case studies. Case study number 1. We have almost 25 case studies. We'll go through all the 25 case studies. All are practical case studies. The first case study is this. So kindly go through the case study. Mr. X, a lender, temporarily lends a security he holds to a borrower and charges a lending fee for the same from the borrower. The borrower of security can further sell or buy these securities and is required to return to the lender after a certain period of time. The proper officer issued the notice to Mr. X, pay the GST on the above transactions, whether the action of the proper officer is correct or not. This is the first case study. Got the point? Please kindly go through the case study. This frequently happens in the stock market. For your reference, I will go through certain definitions in the GST law. Yes. Kindly go through the definition of the goods under the CGST law. Section 252 of the TNGST Act or CGST Act, Tamil Nadu Goods and Service Tax Act or CGST Act. Goods means every kind of movable property other than money and securities. Yes? But includes actionable crime, growing crops, grass and things attached or forming part of the land. And then come for service. Service means anything other than the goods. Money and other than goods, money and securities. So security is not included both in goods and as well as in services. So now the answer is, sir, whether it is chargeable to GST or not. Case study 1, yes? No, how many of you says it? No. No. So see, goods means every kind of movable property other than money and securities. Service means anything other than the goods, money and securities. Correct? So the answer is no. Yes, most of them. Correct? Now you go to the case study, sir. Kindly please go through the case study once again. Yes. Now you please go through the case study. X, a lender, temporarily lends a security he holds to borrower and charges a lending fee for the same from the borrower. The borrower of the security can further sell or buy these securities and is required to return to the lender after a certain period of time. The proper officer issued the notice to Mr. X, pay the GST on the above transaction. Now answer. Still no or yes? Still no. Yes. Why yes, madam? Say here, the officer is asking the fees that is charged by the lender. correct? It is not in respect of securities, no doubt. He has given the securities, but he is charging some lending fee. On that lending fee alone, the officer send a notice saying that you are liable to pay the GST. So that is not a security. The lending fee is not a security at all, correct? But it may be related to security, like broker. When the broker, share broker, when you charge a broker, broking charges, that is subject to GST, no doubt. But he is dealing in securities, correct? He is dealing in shares. But whatever the charges he is charging, that is subject to GST. So therefore, this transaction is subject to GST, because here the officer send a notice only for the fee, not for the security. No, you are liable to pay the security, no. You are liable to pay the GST on the security, no. He is asking only on the fees, correct? Suppose, instead of a fee, suppose if we charge interest, what will happen? Instead of fees, suppose if we charge interest, what will happen? Whether it is subject to GST or not? No. Why no, sir? Interest is outside the GST. It is not outside the GST. Interest is exempt from GST. Okay? Outside GST means liquor, alcoholic liquor, petrol, that is outside the GST. But interest is exempt through notification number 12/2017, dated 28/6/2017. If my remembrance is right, serial number 27. So therefore, the notification number 12/2017 gives exemption in respect of the interest. Yes, sir? Got clarified? Yes. Next case study, sir. Yes. Mrs. X Limited is an exporter. During the year 2024-25, X Limited took certain goods out of India for exhibition or on a consignment basis for export promotion. X Limited is of the view that it is zero rated supply as per the provisions of section 16 of the IGST Act. X Limited seeks your view. You know what is supply, correct? Section 7 defines supply. Supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, rental for a consideration in the course or furtherance of a business by one person to another person, correct? That is a supply, correct? What do you mean by zero rated supply? Zero rated supply means export of goods or supply to SEZ according to section 16 of the IGST Act. This is a zero rated supply. Now the goods is moving from India to outside India for exhibition. So therefore, X Limited is of the view, I am moving the goods from India to outside India, therefore it is an export of goods. So therefore, I am supplying only zero rated supply. The next question I will come later. First we will decide whether it is zero rated supply or not. Whether it is zero rated supply, yes or no? Please refer section 16 of the IGST Act and refer export of goods definition in CGST Act. Export of goods means taking a goods from India to outside India. Yes or no? That is a definition in export of goods. So now you decide whether it is zero rated supply or not. Yes. Export of goods means taking a goods from India to outside India. Okay, yes. The definition is satisfied. I am taking the goods from India to outside India. Yes or no? Yes. Is it a zero rated supply or not? Zero rated supply also. I told you zero rated supply means section 16 of the IGST Act says supply. Export supply is a zero rated supply. Supply to SEZ is a zero rated supply. Now you have to decide whether it is zero rated supply or not. Yes or no? It is more interactive sessions. So, if you are not answering it, I will ask you.
It is not at all a supply, it is only a consignment. Where there is an export order is not there.
Export?
Order is not there.
Export order is not there. Okay.
Goods
Ah.
our exhibition only.
For
Once it is returned, there is no supply is arrived.
okay.
Where there is a sale is there, confirm it, then we can say yes and zero rate.
Okay, that is one view. So according to him, there is no export order at all. So therefore, it is not a supply. Yes? Very good. Other views, sir? Other views? Yes, madam. Yes, madam? Ah. Ah. The same points almost. Yes, sir? Excellent. There is no consideration at all. Next. So therefore, I told you supply is being defined under the GST law. Section 7 of the CGST Act says supply includes transfer, sale, barter, exchange, lease, license, rental, very important, rental for a consideration in the course or furtherance of a business. Yes or no? Yes. I am taking a goods from India to outside India. Is there any consideration? No consideration. When there is no consideration, whether it is a supply, once it is not a supply, whether it is zero rated supply or not, it is not a supply at all. Therefore, there is no question of zero rated supply. So now, X Limited, what they did, they also filed a refund application because that particular month, what happened that there are certain goods they have taken to outside India, say for example 10 crores. There are certain input tax credit to the extent of 50 lakh rupees. They have also claimed refund from the department. Whether that is correct or not. So now we decided it is not a supply. Once it is not a supply, it is not a zero rated supply. Once it is not a zero rated supply, but the X Limited, what they did, they filed RFD 01 before the officer saying that this much of the goods I have taken outside India. You please see the definition of the export of goods. Export of goods says that taking the goods from India to outside India, therefore it is an export of goods. Therefore I am eligible to claim the credit. Yes or no? Huh? Yes. So they cannot claim the refund even though there are a lot of input tax credit is available in a particular month. Only the goods, only certain goods has been taken from India to outside India in a particular month. Even in such a situations, you cannot claim refund because there is no supply at all. There is no zero rated supply. For you to claim the refund, there should be a zero rated supply. Correct? There should be a zero rated supply. There is no zero rated supply at all. So therefore, you cannot claim any refund. Yes. Now, the next question is, out of that, say for example, I sent a goods 2 crores outside India. Out of that, 50% of the goods is returned. Balance 50% of the goods I sold in outside India. Then what will happen? Then? I told you 50%. Correct. Then what will happen? That 50% whatever sold in outside India, that becomes zero rated supply. Yes or no? That becomes zero rated supply. Therefore, you can claim the refund for that 50%. Suppose 100% is sold outside India. 100% is sold outside India. I took the goods from India to outside India, 2 crores in the month of April 2025. In May 2025, what happened in May 2025? I sold 100% of the goods. Then even in such a situations, whether it is zero rated, yes or no? Yes, zero rated. The third situation is, sir, I took your goods from India to outside India, but it did not return at all. 6 months time period is over. Then in such a situations, what you will do? There are certain circumstances happened. What will do? In such a situation, section 31(7) says the time period is only for 6 months. The time period is only for 6 months. Once 6 months is crosses, it deemed to be a supply. Yes or no? It is deemed to be a supply. So therefore it will become an export supply. Therefore it will become an export supply. So the act gives 6 months time period for you to sell the product outside India. Yes? Once you are not able to sell it, then the time period 6 months is over. Then in such situations, it will be considered as export of goods. Yes? Yes. The next case study 3. According to me, yes. According to me, yes. Excellent. Say foreign, yes, sorry. You are asking about refund. So for refund, you should receive in a convertible foreign exchange. It will be considered as an export of supply, but for refund, you have to receive in a convertible foreign exchange. If you are not able to receive in a convertible foreign exchange, because in this case, it is a deemed supply. Once it is a deemed supply, you will not receive the consideration in a convertible foreign exchange. Therefore, you are not eligible to claim the refund. Yes, but it will be considered as export. The second very important is, you may be subject to the provisions under FEMA because you sold the goods there, but you didn't realize a consideration. Therefore, you may be subject to the FEMA proceedings. So, you must be very careful. Now, case study 3. Mr. X applied for alcoholic liquor license from the government of Tamil Nadu. Mr. X paid license fees, application fees to the Tamil Nadu state government. The GST authority issued the notice to Mr. X to pay the tax under RCM. Mr. X seeks your views. No RCM. Why, sir? It is exempt.
License fee is outside the GST also.
Okay.
In service tax that also came.
Okay. Notification number 13/2017. So I will show you the notification number 13/2017. Next. Yes. Okay, on. Notification number 13/2000. Item number, serial number 5. 1 minute. Yes. So this is a notification number 13/2017 dated 28/6/2017. It talks about who are all liable under RCM. Correct? So here you see the serial number 5. Services supplied by the central government, state government, union territory or local authority to a business entity, excluding 1. The renting of immovable properties, and 2. Services supplied below, services by the Department of Post by way of a speed post, life insurance, agency services, etc. So these are all the category of supply of services by the government. Other than this, supplier of services, who is a supplier of services? Central government, state government, union territory. Recipient, any business entity is a recipient, correct? So therefore in this case what happened? Who supplied the services? State government supplied the services. Services supplied by the central government, state government, union territory or local authority to a business entity. Mr. X is doing a business, yes? So therefore they are supplying to the business entity. Excluding renting of immovable property, services, services by the Department of Post by way of a speed post, express, parcel, etc. Other than this, third one. Services in relation to aircraft. All are subject to RCM. Yes. So now the notification number 13/2017 talks about RCM liability. It says if any services supplied by the central government, state government or union authority or local authority, correct, or union local authority, except the 3 mentioned above, a business entity who receives that services that are liable to pay under RCM. Yes? Yes, sir? This is the notification number 13/2017. No doubt, sir rightly said it is outside the purview. Liquor is outside the purview of GST. Here, the government, they are charging some license fee, some application fee, whether that is subject to RCM or not. So that is a question here. Yes. After going through this notification, number 13/2017, sir, now your answer, sir. Still it is not liable. Okay. Yes, sir. Reason, sir?
It is already decided in service tax, license fee is not subject to service tax.
Okay.
Same thing we can apply here.
Okay, sir.
They won't do.
Okay.
And some charity can also receive for GST also.
Okay. Next. Any other?
Sir, license is not a service provided by the government.
Ah.
It's permission to use do that business.
Ah. So license is not a service at all. So therefore it will not come in 13/2017. Correct, madam? Yes. Then any other view? Magesh sir. So now I request you to kindly go through. According to me, it is subject to RCM, but there is one notification number 25/2019 because the lot of officers started issuing the notice to the business entity, asked them to pay under RCM. Now this is a notification number 25/2019. The notification says, see, services by way of grant of alcoholic liquor licenses against consideration in the form of license fee or application fee or whatever name is called is neither a supply of goods nor a supply of services. So therefore this notification helped us a lot. Otherwise the officer started issuing the notice saying that the recipient is a business entity. Giving a license is also a service, because if you go through section 7 talks about supply, transfer, lease, license, correct? Exchange, barter, rental, everything is a supply. So therefore it is a supply of service according to section 7. Therefore no doubt it is subject to RCM. The officer also started issuing the notice to various business units saying that you are liable to pay under RCM. After that only this notification came. This notification came on 30th September 2019. It says it is a neither supply of goods nor supply of services. So therefore it is not subject to RCM. Yes, sir? Yes? Yes. Next case studies. ARR Charitable Trust received a donation of 1 crore from Mrs. X Limited, whether it is a supply and is liable for GST. This is the first question. Then we will go into the second letter. ARR Charitable Trust received 1 crore donations. From Mrs. X Limited, whether it is a supply and whether it is liable for GST, yes or no. Why is not supply?
It's not in the course of business.
It is not in the course of business, yes. Assuming that Mrs. ARR Charitable Trust, they are also doing some activity, business activity.
Donation is not a supply.
Donation is not a supply. Yes. Any other view?
It's just only a consideration.
It is?
It is not in any barter. It's just only a consideration.
It is only a consideration for what? It is only a consideration for what? No service. No service was given. So no service at all. According to sir, no consideration.
No, consideration is there. In the return, there is no service.
There is no quid pro quo. Correct? Okay. There is no consideration. There is no reciprocal. So therefore, this donation 1 crore received by ARR Charitable Trust is not a supply at all. It is not a supply at all. As he rightly said, there is no quid pro quo. That is the first question, reciprocal one. As he rightly said, it is not in the course or furtherance of a business. The ARR Charitable Trust received this donation voluntarily, correct? Yes or no? There is no reciprocal, correct? Yes. So therefore, it is not a supply at all. For a supply, the third person, somebody told me, it is in the course or furtherance of a business. Here or charitable, it is a charitable trust. They are not doing any business activity. So therefore, it is not subject to GST. Yes, it is not subject to GST. It is not a supply at all. Therefore, it is not subject to GST. Yes, yes. Now, the next question is, if your answer changes, if Mrs. X Limited directed the trust to mention the name of the company and as well as the product dealt by them in a big banner. எனக்கு வந்து நான் ஒரு ரூபா பணம் கொடுத்துட்டேன். You are going to conduct some religious activity or some charitable activity. என்னோட பேனர் தான் எல்லா இடத்துலையும் இருக்கணும். இந்த பிக் பேனரில் எல்லா இடத்துலையும் என்னோட தான் இருக்கணும். That is a condition. Under this condition, that 1 crore was given. In such a situation, whether your answer will change or not. Huh? Advertisement expenses to whom? Business promotion to whom? X Limited, it is a business promotion. X Limited is a business expenditure. Now you have to answer whether it is subject to GST or not in the hands of ARR Charitable Trust. Yes, madam?
Is it through reverse mechanism?
Through reverse mechanism. Under what category, madam?
Because he is supplying a service based on what based on the conditions as implied by X Limited. So it is subject to GST. Since ARR is not able can't collect GST, X Limited
X Limited
has to pay GST on behalf of ARR.
under RCM.
Yeah, RC.
Okay. Under RCM, if you go through the notification number 13/2017, there are almost 15 entries are there. GTA, legal expenses, security services, renting a cab. But receiving from unregistered person, is there any category? No category at all in notification number 13/2017. And section 9(4), if you are receiving from any unregistered person, that is also being is scrapped from 39/2018, if my remembrance is right. 17. So, yes. So, how it will be subject to RCM, madam? RCM, you have to go through the notification number 13/2017. The notification number 13/2017, this activity is not at all there. So, therefore, my view is X Limited is not subject to RCM. I am asking the question whether AIR or charitable trust, whether they are liable to pay the GST or not. X Limited, they are not subject to RCM. I am very sure. But AIR or charitable trust, whether they are liable to pay the GST or not. Yes or no?
So the service is not inadequate to the donation received, sir. It may not.
How you say there is a condition? See that. Huh? Say there is. Yes. Yes, sir. Huh? Displaying the product is not subject to, is not a supply at all. Condition is there. Say here there is a condition that AIR or charitable trust, what they have to do? They have to display their, not only the name, but also their product, everything they have to display. So therefore, AIR or charitable trust, now they didn't receive the donation voluntarily, there are certain conditions and they have to provide these services. So therefore, AIR or charitable trust providing an advertisement services to Mrs. X Limited, therefore AIR or charitable trust subject to GST. Yes, there is one circular also. Only the name is there. Then in such situations, it will not be considered as a supply of services. But if the donor asks the trust, you have to give me my product name and address, everything if you have to give, then in such a situation, the donation is not voluntary. Yes or no? The donation is not voluntary. So therefore, it is subject to GST. There is one circular also to that effect. Yes. Next. case study 5. இது பார்த்தாச்சு. ஓகே. Yes. Sri Chakra, an apartment owner association, is engaged in providing a maintenances or no 555, yes. Sri Chakra, an apartment owner association, is engaged in providing a maintenances or repair of the common area of the apartment and procuring the goods and services by the applicant from third parties for upkeeping and maintenance of your flats and collecting the money from its members to pay third parties. During the year, the association collected a sinking repair funds from its members. Whether the collection of a sinking funds was chargeable to GST, association seeks your view.
There are no supplies where it is only facilitation extended by the association to its members. So when there's an excess money, it will be again distributed to them.
Correct.
No service.
But there is a specific circular is there, madam, that is subject to GST. Only up to 7,500 is exempt. So therefore, it is there in the notification 11/2017. In 12/2017 also, only up to 7,500 is exempted. So therefore, it is a supply, no doubt about it. Therefore, association, they are providing services to the members, no doubt about it. Only 7,500 is exempted. If you are receiving more than 7,500 rupees, it is subject to GST. So please refer notification number 11. Only up to 7,500. What is your question, sir?
He is talking about supposing if 8,000 rupees.
Yes.
Then you have start from 1 rupee.
Yes. So therefore, suppose if it is 8,000 rupees, whether I am liable to pay GST 500 or 8,000 rupees. Madras High Court also had held that only on 8,000 rupees. Circular also clarified. Yes, I know. During the year, the association collected a sinking repair funds that may be used only in future. Today, in the month of April 2025, they have collected the sinking funds from the members. Now, X Limited asks views whether it is subject to GST or not. In the month of April 2005, or they are going to use it in the month of May 2026. Which year it is subject to GST? April 2025 or May 2026? Year of receipt. Why, sir? Advance received. Advance received, but I am going to give service only after. So, advance received against the services is subject to GST in the month in which I received the advance. That is a yes. Yeah, goods. Yes, no GST on advances. Any other views? It is taxable. April 2025 or May 2026, because they are going to utilize only in May 2026, not in April 2025. I received in April 2025, it is only for my future maintenance repair, the association future maintenance repair.
Collection more than 7,500. If it is clubbed to more than 90,000, which generally is taxable.
Okay. So if it is more than 7,500 rupees, it is subject to whatever the name, whether it is sinking fund or whatever the name, it is subject to GST, the other views. Yes, sir?
So I have a question. This is an activity that I do for myself.
Yes,
And I unfortunately is an association.
correct.
That is the expenditure, no matter the quid pro quo come.
See what happened, say if you go through notification number 11/2017 or 12/2017, there is a specific entry. It says it is taxable. So therefore, even if you take Calcutta Young Club, Calcutta club cases, Supreme Court and retrospective amendment in section 7, even if you are providing services to the members, no doubt you are not liable for income tax, but you are liable for GST. There are a lot of decisions. And retrospective amendment also made in section 7 of the CGST Act.
Effectively, I am
Yes, I understood.
services that I am doing for myself.
Yes.
Is
See,
it otherwise the constitution?
yes. I am sending my goods to my own branch office, whether it is subject to GST or not. Yes or no? Then? So, once it is a transfer, it is subject to GST. Whether you are transferring for yourself or to other person, it is immaterial under the GST law. When I am sending my goods from head office to branch office, I am liable to pay the GST. Yes? Yes. Case study. 5. So, section 231. Yes?
But for that, now from head office to branch office, it should be in different state. Right?
Even within the state, it says a distinct person. Say, I am having one head office in Coimbatore, another one is Chennai. There are certain transactions between these two, GST, and it is subject to GST. Please refer Schedule 1. Schedule 1 says any transaction between two distinct persons even without a consideration, it is subject to GST. It will be considered as supply and on which you are liable to pay the GST. Yes? Notification number 12/2017. See. 12/2017, it says, sir, your question.
But is it not challengeable?
It is not challengeable, sir.
Because law is not challengeable.
The other unit is there eligible to claim the credit. It is there in the act. So it is not challengeable.
But as an association, how will I claim the credits?
That is why Supreme Court had held that there will not be any transaction between the members and club. It is a transaction. It is a same transaction. But Supreme Court had held that it is not subject to GST. Calcutta Club and Young Man Association Club. But the government, they have retrospectively amended the section 7 and says that it is subject to GST. See here, services by an unincorporated body or a non-profit entity registered under any law for the time being in force to its own members by way of reimbursement of charges or share of contribution as a trade union for the provision of carrying out any activity which is exempted. C. Up to an amount of 7,500 rupees per month per member for sourcing the goods or services. So therefore, it is only up to 7,500 rupees it is exempted. So that is notification number 12/2017. So therefore, it is subject to GST, no doubt. Now on the definition, section 231. Please refer section 231. Sir, your section 231. Consideration. Provided that a deposit given in respect of the supply of goods or services or both shall not be considered as a payment made for such a supply unless the supplier applies such a deposit as a consideration for the said supply. So when he is going to utilize it, he is going to utilize it only in future, correct? Then in such a situations, what will happen? Whether it is liable in May 2025 or June 2026. '26 only. Any other views? So the sinking fund, whether it is a deposit or not, that first you have to examine. Deposit means you have to refund, correct? Sinking fund you are receiving from the members, that is not a deposit at all. That is not required to be refunded to the members. So therefore it will be considered as only an advance. Yes or no? Yes. Once it is an advance, it is a service, correct? The association providing a service to the members. Once it is an advance, yes, the association providing a services to the members. Therefore, for services, once you receive an advance, according to section 13 of the CGST Act, it is subject to GST when you are receiving an advances from the members. Yes? So, sinking fund is totally different from deposits. Deposit means always refundable. Advance rent also subject to GST, sir. You have to pay the month in which you receive the advance. Yes? Any doubt? Next. Six. Yes, it's an interesting case study. X Limited supplied the goods to various customers. While raising the invoice, it stipulated the condition that the payment to be made within 60 days. Otherwise, interest will be charged at the rate of 18%. During the year 2024-25, 40 customers not paid the consideration within 60 days. Correct? X Limited raised an invoices for an interest of rupees 60 lakhs during the above year. So interest itself is 60 lakh rupees. However, the customer not paid the interest till date. So X Limited raised invoices for interest 60 lakhs. The customer not paid the interest till date. The proper officer issued the notice to X Limited referring section 15(2)(d) and directed X Limited to pay the tax on the above interest. X Limited seeks your views. Got the point? Yes? Interest is not subject to GST. Say interest is not subject to GST, please go through that notification, but it talks about only interest on loans, advances. But here it is not loans or advances. It is a delayed payment. It is not a loans or advances.
Linked to goods or services, the rate which applies, the same thing should apply.
Same thing should apply. So therefore, your view, sir, 60 lakh subject to GST. When, sir? During the year 2024-25. Yes. Any other view?
31 goes.
Huh?
31.
Ah.
Goods and services.
Yes, invoice is raised. Correct, invoice is raised. And invoice is raised for the interest, but X Limited not received the interest till date. Whether it makes any difference, sir? No.
You claim bad debts, sir.
You claim it as a bad debts. Yes, any other view? So it is not a loan. It is not a loan. It is a delayed payment. It will not be considered as a loan in both the books of accounts, both the seller and as well as in the buyer. Yes, sir. Correct. It raised invoices saying that there is a delayed payment of consideration, therefore I am charging interest. Yes, sir. Yes. So we will refer section 15(2)(d). What section 15(2)(d) says? Section 15(2)(d) says any penalty or any interest for the delayed payment of consideration is required to be added as a supply and on which you are liable to pay the GST. Correct? 15(2)(d). Yes. What section 15(2)(d) says? 15(2)(d), the value of supply shall include, correct? The value of supply shall include interest or late fee or penalty for delayed payment of considerations. Yes? Yes. So therefore it is subject to GST. Yes? Now you please go through section 12(6) or section 13(6). Here it is supply of goods. Therefore you please go through section 12(6). What section 12(6) says? 12(6) says the time of supply to the extent it related to addition in the value of supply by way of interest, late fee or penalty for a delayed payment of consideration shall be the date on which the supplier receives the additional value. So in this case what happened? You have not received the payment still, correct? Time of supply it says no, only at the time of receipt only it is subject to the GST. Therefore, the proper officer who sent a notice to the assessee is not correct. Yes. So therefore, you have to refer only section 12(6). It says yes sir, I agree, I raise the invoices. Therefore, what will happen in your profit and loss account? there will be some differences, yes or no? There will be some differences. That differences is only this interest, correct? So this interest, the officer will also ask question, sir, there is a difference in outward supply. What is this? Sir, this is interest. What interest? This is interest for delayed payment. So you are subject to pay the GST as per section 15(2)(d). 15(2)(d) says that yes, you are liable to pay. But section 12(6), it is a time of supply, that is very important. When the time of supply occurs? Time of supply occurs only when you received the entire payments. So therefore here in 2024-25 you have not at all received the payment. So therefore it is not subject to the GST. But maybe 25, 26 or 26, 27, if you received it, you are liable to pay the GST. But not in the year of 2024-25. Yes, sir? Yes? Yes.
What about LD class?
Huh?
Suppose late delivery class from 5% or 2% they have deducted.
Ah.
Suppose that LD class is received.
Okay. Say LD class, you are talking about the delivery charges or?
Not delay in supply.
Ah.
There is LD class is there. Late
Okay.
delivery.
Okay.
They will deduct.
Ah. So for late delivery, who will deduct?
That those who are purchaser.
Sorry, purchaser, they will deduct it. For you, is it a supply?
Yeah, we have supplied the
Say you have supplied 1 lakh rupees to, I supplied 1 lakh rupees to you. So you are deducting certain payments, saying that you have delayed delivery, therefore I am reducing it 5,000 rupees. Here who is a supplier, who is a recipient? Supplier, this 5,000 rupees you are supplying, correct. You are only receiving the consideration. Because you are reducing my total consideration, you are giving only 95,000 rupees. So therefore you are the supplier. Whether that 5,000 rupees in the hands of the supplier is subject to GST or not, that is the question. So therefore delivery charges, are you providing me services? It is in the form of only the penalty, yes or no? It is only in the form of penalty or compensation. It is not a supply of services. You have reduced it for late delivery, so therefore it is only the penalty. My view is that that supplier is not liable to pay the GST on that 5,000 rupees because it is only the penalty or compensation. You are not providing any service to me, correct. You are only deducting certain payment towards late delivery. Yes, sir? Yes. So therefore that is not subject to, that is my view, sir. Yes.
So what if I don't put in terms of contract that it is for delayed payment?
Huh? Ah. Say, if the
I extend the credit to all my customers.
okay. Okay.
In the general terms of the trade.
Okay.
So is that something which is escapable under this policy?
So it is an interesting question. Sir, in my invoices it will be there. I will charge you interest at the rate of 18%. If there is a delay in payment, if it is more than 30 days, 60 days or 30 days. In such a situation, it is not at all subject to GST at all. Because you have not raised the invoice first. You have not realized it also. So therefore it is not subject to GST. Yes, mere agreement terms. There is an agreement says that if it is not paid within 60 days, I will charge you at the rate of 18%. There is no supply at all. So therefore that is also not subject to GST. Yes. Next. This is very interesting. Raman & Company is a trader. During the year provided a provision for legal expenses of rupees 10 lakhs in the books of accounts. The above legal expenses debited to the profit and loss account and credited to the payable account. Yes, at the year end 31st March they have created the provision. No invoice was raised by the legal firm. It is only the provisions in the books of accounts. The above payment not paid by Raman & Company for the year 2024-25. Not paid at all. However, the proper officer issued the notice to Raman & Company to pay the GST under RCM. Raman & Company seeks your view. Because in the P&L account, legal expenses is there. Notification number 13/2017, legal expenses, business entity who receive the services, they are liable to pay under RCM. Yes? So therefore, now this is a question, whether it is subject to RCM or not. RCM will attract. Why, sir?
Because once they did a service, within 15 days they have to write it.
30 days.
30 days.
See, yes.
They have received the service, 30 days is over. They have raised the bill, but provided they have not paid.
They have not raised the bill. Here, in this case, Only the provision is made in the books of accounts as at 31st March. No invoice from the legal firm.
If the 30 days left, it is a deemed.
Say for example, 31st March I received the service. Law firm, they have to raise invoices within 30 days. Correct. So they raised in April 20th. They have raised in the next year. But for the year 2024-25, I created the provisions of rupees 10 lakhs.
The service is completed within 30 days, no, 31st March.
Service is completed. Yes, I agree. Once the service is completed, then only I can make provision in my books of accounts. Correct. So therefore, service is completed. I didn't receive the invoice copy from the law firm. It is only a mere book entry in my books of accounts. No payment at all. 2024-25, no payment at all. Payment also not made. But in the books of accounts, it is there. In the P&L account, legal fees of rupees 10 lakhs, legal fee payable in the balance sheet 10 lakhs. Yes. Any view whether it is subject to RCM or not? It is only a provision. 100% it is only a provisions. (2024-25) it is not paid to the law firm. Not received the invoice also from the law firm. Only book entry. You can say that. Only the book entry by debiting the legal expenses, crediting the legal fee payable account as on 31st March 2025. No GST. Yes sir, why sir? It is under RCM sir. Why no GST? Services not rendered. Services rendered. They have not raised the invoice.
But we would have deducted TDS on 10 lakhs, no sir.
We have deducted next.
So we are identifying the person.
We identify the person. As per Income Tax Act, are all correct. You followed the TDS provisions. Just because the expenditure is considered as business expenditure, not necessarily it should be a supply under the GST law. No doubt, TDS has been deducted and you have followed all the provisions related to TDS and you also followed the accounting standard. That doesn't mean that that is subject to GST under the GST law. Certain cases, what will happen? Revenue recognition. You recognize the revenue 1 crore. But actually you raise invoices only for 70 lakh rupees. Act says you are liable to pay GST only on 70 lakh rupees, not on 1 crore. Just because you recognize the revenue under the Indian accounting standard, you are not required to pay the GST on the revenue side. You are liable to pay only on the invoices raised or only on the value on which you received the supply. Yes?
Time of supply.
Time of supply. Yes, sir. What is the time of supply, sir?
We have got time to book the
60 days.
That time only we use.
So time of supply which we have to see, correct? So what is the time of supply under RCM? Yes, pa. What is the time of supply under RCM, sir? RCM, time of supply. Payment is made to that person, correct? Or payment is made or debited in the books of accounts, whichever is earlier. Whether the payment is made here, no payment is made. So therefore, first clause is not applicable. What is the second clause? Second clause talks about 60 days, correct, sir? 60 days from the date of raising the invoices, correct? Here invoice is raised? No. So therefore, that also not applicable. And what we can do? Self invoice. They are going to raise invoice, not self invoice. Assuming that they are also registered under GST law. No doubt legal fees is exempt, but they are providing some commercial renting more than 1 crore or 2 crore. Therefore, they are registered under the GST law. So therefore, first 1 and 2 is not applicable. Yes? Yes, sir. Time of supply. We will go through time of supply provisions. So the date of payment as entered in the books of accounts of the recipient, or the date on which the payment is debited in the books of the recipient. This is not applicable, yes? So therefore, this is not applicable. The date immediately following the 60 days from the date of issue of invoices. Here the invoice was not issued, yes? Or any other document by whatever name is called in lieu thereof by the supplier in case where the invoice is required to be issued, right? The date of issue of invoices by the recipient. The date of issue of invoice is not is being is issued by the recipient. Now you come to this. This proviso is very important. Provided that where it is not possible to determine the time of supply under class A or class B or class C, the time of supply shall be the date of entry in the books of accounts of the recipients. What is the date of entry in the books of accounts of the recipient? 31st March? March 2025. So that date will be considered as the time of supply. So therefore, you are liable to pay under RCM.
Subsequently, if I receive the invoice in next month,
The subsequently,
April month, if I receive invoice from the legal form,
you have to reconcile it. It is a form of reconciliation, that all. You are not required to pay 2 times, You have to take a stand. Already it is being is paid. Yes, it is being is paid. Therefore, yes, sir.
His question was, if April is the invoice is being issued,
Correct.
will that be the point of supply or the time of supply? Sorry.
No. Here, 31st March, it was assuming that he raised an invoice in April 2025. So, April 2025, the date following 60 days from the date. Correct. But here, this clause will be applicable. In 2024-25, at the earliest, shall be earlier of. So, earlier is, the amount is debited in the books of accounts. Correct. 31st March 2025 is debited in the books of accounts. Yes, sir. Any other view? Any other view? No, sir. It is only subject to RCM only in the year of rising invoices. Any other view? We will discuss. Next. Next case study. Image Limited is in the business of providing consultancy services. During the year 2024-25, it purchased coffee vending machines and claimed the ITC. However, the proper officer issued the notice to reverse a credit as a creditor ineligible under section 17(5). Image Limited seeks your views. Capital goods also. But section 17(5) restrict, food and beverages. First item, section 17(5)(a), B is, first is food and beverages.
no, it is not a direct food, it is only a machine.
It's B2C, so it will definitely not be applicable.
Huh?
It is B2C, so definitely you can't claim the
B2C.
The company is the end customer.
No. Image Limited is the business of providing consulting. It purchased a coffee vending machine from another registered dealer.
but Image Limited is ultimate customer then,
Correct.
for the vending machine.
Correct.
So which means he can't claim the GST
Why?
because he is the ultimate customer.
Okay. I am a registered person, no? I am eligible to claim the credit. See, the credit is only to the registered person. Correct? Yes or no? Say, Image Limited is a registered person. The company who is selling the vending machine is also registered person. Now, Image Limited availed the credit based on the invoices raised by the registered person. But the officer says, it is a vending machine, I will not allow you the credit because it is an ineligible credit under section 17(5). Got clarified, madam? It is not B2C, it is only B2B. Both are registered. Yes? Yes, sir? Huh? Reversible. Any other view? Not reversible.
It is used for furtherance of business.
It is used for furtherance of business.
Once the vending machine is used for the client.
Yes.
So, who are the customers? We are offered a coffee.
Hmm.
For which machine is used.
Right.
So, it is a furtherance of business.
Even purchase of motor vehicle is also for furtherance of
That
business.
is a specific circular, is there, sir?
No. That no circular at all. Even purchase of motor vehicle is also for the purpose of your business. Even food and beverages given to the customer is also for the purpose of your business only. Section 17.5 says, notwithstanding anything contained in section 16, section 17.5 is a separate provisions. So therefore, there you cannot take a view, no, sir, it is only for business. No. It says, notwithstanding anything contained in section 16, these are all the credit will not be allowable, even though it is related to your business. Even construction of the factory is a business. But it says very clearly not allowable. No, sir, I am constructing only the factory, sir, I am going to manufacture the product there. It is only related to the business, therefore you should allow it. No, section 17.5 restrict it. It says that you are not eligible to claim the credit because it is only the construction. So construction, I will not allow you the credit. So therefore, food and beverages, even if it is related to the business, it is not allowed. Coffee vending machines. Yes, madam. Yes, sir. Sir told to reverse. Eligible. Why eligible? It is not restricted by section 7. Sir, why I should reverse it, sir? 17.5 I should reverse it. What? So now we will go through section 17.5. So we are more bothered about section 17.5b only for this case study. Yes. It talks about food and beverages, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, health services, cosmetic and plastic surgery, leasing, renting or hiring of motor vehicle, vessels or aircraft referred to in class A or class AA, except when it is used for the purpose of a business. So therefore, this is totally different. So it is not required to go through here. Now you see here, food and beverages, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, health services. Now purchasing the coffee vending machines, is it a food and beverages? Yes or no? Yes. How many of you know? According to me also, purchasing the vending machine is not a food and beverages. Whatever you are preparing, yes, coffee powder, sugar, all are food and beverages, I agree. So therefore, this vending machine is not a food and beverages, therefore it is not restricted under section 17.5, so therefore you are eligible to claim the credit. Yes, sir? But in most of the cases, officer is not allowing it. I am telling you, I am also seeing it. But we are filing an appeal. So therefore, my view is yes, 100% yes. It is not a food and beverage, it is a machine, it is not a food and beverage. No, I am preparing the food and beverages from the machine. That is different. That is different. But the machine alone is not a food and beverages. Yes or no? So therefore, it is, according to me, section 17.5, it is not a restricted credit.
They say civil and civil related. So we must also think on that side, related. Whatever it is related is also not eligible.
Yes. But here, sir, but here you see, sir, input credit shall not be available in respect of the following: food and beverages. So according to me, I will restrict only food and beverages. Correct. Yeah. So you are talking about 17.5 C and D.
So civil and civil related, same thing is applicable for this also. That is also related.
Okay.
Now recently also
Other-
they have amended section from 1717.
Yes.
Plant or machinery.
Plant and machinery.
Plant and machinery.
Yes, sir.
In only projects of foreign. So
Yes, yes. So there are two views. One view is yes, it is restricted. The other view is no, sir, it is only a food and beverages. Definitely it go up to Supreme Court like safari retreats. Okay, sir?
Same concept will then apply for microwave oven and other things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My view, yes, sir.
Even then refrigerator.
Yes, sir. I am taking credit. Yes. But subject to, say, the officer will always, I will tell you, a lot of case studies are there.
There is
The officer.
clarification given. If your factory is, as per the Factories Act, they have 500 or more employees, if they want to give, then only it is allowed.
Correct. That is there in section.
No. Why that is given?
Ah.
Why that is given? So you must think that also and link this.
Yes, okay.
So the legislator has in that mind that it is allowable provided Factories Act.
Okay.
So rest of things not allowed. That way only you have to think.
Sir, section 17(5)(b), in respect of canteen, it is mandated by the law,
Factories Act.
Factories Act. Then in such a situation, the act itself says, I will allow it. If it is mandated by the law, I will allow it.
That way you have to link this.
Yes, okay. Right, sir. Next.
2019,
Yeah. This is very small case study. I think you will all answer it this. First we will discuss about services and then we will go for goods. Yes? Now you tell me whether the registration is required or not. When you have to get registered under the GST law, once your aggregate turnover is more than 20 lakh rupees, you are required to get registered under the GST law. Services, taxable supply of services 12 lakhs, dividend received 8 lakhs, sale of land 22 lakhs, interest received 5 lakhs. Whether the registration is required or not.
aggregate turnover 26.
Hmm.
Aggregate turnover if it crosses. Aggregate turnover includes exempt. What is
Ex-
exempt? Non-taxable, non-supply.
Yes.
So that way you have to think and
Right. So therefore, according to sir,
aggregate
12,
turnover.
12 plus 8 plus 20, 12 plus 8 plus 22 plus 5, everything all exceeds.
22 is outside there.
So 22 outside.
23.
So 12 plus 8 plus 5. Is that right, sir? 12 plus 8 plus 5. Therefore, it is more than 20 lakh rupees. Registration is required. Sir view. Other views. Sriram sir. Magesh sir. Whether registration is required. Yes, sir. It is only service. The small case study. Very, very small. 2 minutes you can answer. Aggregate turnover.
Section 24 and this.
Yes. Registration is not. Section 22. 22 talks about once if your aggregate turnover is more than 20 lakh rupees, you are liable to get registered. Exceed 20 lakh, you are liable to get registered. Aggregate.
Exempt plus. That
Aggregate.
way you have
Yes.
to bifurcate.
Yes. Aggregate turnover is defined in section 2, subsection 6 of the CGST Act. It says that aggregate turnover means taxable, exempted, zero rated, even nil rated.
What
All
is
it is.
exempt defined?
Yes. Exempted means section 247 defines what is exempted.
There, exempt also, it says
It includes nil rated supply.
nil and non-taxable.
Yes,
What is
non-tax.
non-taxable?
Yes.
It comes under VAT.
Okay.
That also you take it about.
Yes, sir.
Supposing
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any other view? SAR is very clear, it is subject to registration. The dealer he has to get the registration.
Dividend is not under the purview of
Dividend is not. Sir. Madam.
There's no advance ruling case.
Huh? Advance ruling. There is one advance ruling.
Case was there, sir. That way, even from interest dividend or
Consider. Okay.
turnover purpose and
Yes. ஸோ நம்ம ஃபஸ்ட்டே சொல்லியாச்சு, இட் வில் பி மோர் இன்ட்ராக்டிவ் செஷன். சார் மட்டும்தான் ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கிறார், மற்றவங்க யாருமே ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ண மாட்டேன்றீங்க. ஆ யூ ஆர் லேர்னிங். அப்புறம் நானும் லேர்னிங்ட்டு போயிடுவேன். கவலையே படாதீங்க, நம்ம எதாவது தப்பாக சொல்லிடுவோமோன்னு. நானே தப்பாக சொல்லுவேன், அதனால் பயப்படாதீங்க. சரி, லா வந்து ஒன்லி 7 years ஓல்டு, கரெக்ட். ஸோ அதனால் வந்து நம்ம தப்பாக சொல்லிடுவோமோ, அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. சம்டைம்ஸ் இட் மே பி ரைட் ஆல்சோ. He raised that export of goods. He raised a very interesting question. So like that. So அதனால் don't worry. You can ask me questions. It's a more interactive session. So then only we will get opinion of all the members. My answer also may change. I don't know.
So, but you're saying taxable supply of services only 12 lakhs.
Yes. But as he rightly said, aggregate turnover includes taxable plus exempted, plus zero rated, plus nil rated, everything it includes.
But sale of land,
Sale of land, outside the same. It is neither a supply of goods nor supply of services as per Schedule 3. So that he also excluded it. The 22 lakh rupees he excluded it. Yes. Go for answer. Yes. See, according to me, this dividend received 8 lakh rupees is not at all a supply at all. It is not a supply. It is not a transfer. It is not a lease. It is not a sale. It is not exchange. Correct? Yes or no? So dividend is I am receiving it because I am holding some shares. I received the dividend. It is not a supply at all. Yes, so therefore it is neither a supply of goods nor supply of services. Sale of land, as he rightly said, that is also neither supply of goods nor supply of services. But interest received 5 lakh rupees, it is an exempted supply, correct? Through notification number 12/2017. So therefore 12 plus 5, 17 lakh rupees. That is less than 20 lakh rupees. Therefore, not required to get registered. Not required to, this is my view, sir. This is not required to get registered.
Even though you are PPF interest, whether exempt.
Huh?
PPF interest, whether exempt.
PPF interest.
Subject to GST turnover.
PPF interest, say that is also one form of advance.
No, whether exempt.
My view is it is exempt. My view it is not a supply.
Okay.
My view it is not a supply.
Right. Whether you have to show in GSTR1.
Huh?
GSTR1 to table 8.
You have to show it exempt. Say once it is not a supply, no supply is there.
You have to show.
Yes.
Okay. There is a clarification in 2017 that was written that if you are a listed dealer, you have to show under GSTR1 table 8. If that is so, turnover will get added.
No, yes, sir. Say just because you are showing in table 8.
No. If you are a registered dealer, interest is to be shown, and that will add to the aggregate turnover.
Say if you say interest, it will be added. No doubt about it.
No. Only under Schedule 3 only it is exempt. It should be, for example, I give you, I won't drive home this point the other way. Electricity charges is exempt or not?
Electricity charges is exempt.
Rate is prescribed. Rate is prescribed.
Rate is prescribed. It is there in 2/2.
Only by way of notification it is exempt.
Correct.
Not by the rate.
Correct.
That's the point. Exempt means real.
2/2027, it is being exempted.
Either Schedule 1, 2 or 3. Schedule 1 says neither it is goods, not service. Schedule 2 says service is not goods. Schedule 3 says neither goods, not service. Only in those categories we can exclude. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, I agree.
For example, I will give you another point. IC sales.
I see said Schedule 3 items.
Okay. So those Schedule 3 items only to be excluded.
Correct.
Otherwise, you have to go into the aggregate turnover concept.
No.
Aggregate
That is
turnover means taxable plus exempt. What is exempt? Non-taxable and exempt. So non-taxable under the item means VAT also, liquor or liquor, petrol, if your turnover is include that, and if your turnover crosses 20 lakhs, you have to do this.
Say liquor, yes, it is outside the purview of GST. It is no supply, therefore it is being included. Yes.
Exempt, you have to take exempt. What is per se exempt? Electricity exempt, dividend is exempt, interest is exempt.
No, dividend is not exempt. That is why my point.
No. The schedule 3 is there. Whether it is in schedule 3 or not.
So, sir,
Whether it is there in schedule 3. Land is there in schedule 3.
everything they cannot bring into schedule 3.
That is why.
Say,
Okay.
then-
That is why I bring up the point.
then sale of shares. The other sale of shares.
The goods definitions are there.
The sale of shares, it is not there in schedule 3.
For a person to be taxed, you have to satisfy 3. It should come in definition of goods. It should satisfy.
Correct, agreed.
Dealer, it should satisfy definition of the person.
Correct.
All the 3 files, for example, since you have raised this point, what happened to the paper sale? Whether it is exempt, the Hindu Express is exempt or not?
Exempt,
Whether they sell scrap,
taxable.
whether they have registered.
Who registered?
But Hindu paper.
Hindu paper they will get registered because they will have other than the newspaper, they will have other outward supply.
The 20, but the cap sales is more than 20 lakhs.
Huh?
Whether they have registered.
They have to register.
Like same thing. Same thing. Only under schedule 3, if it is not covering, then whatever the exempt says, is only exempt by virtue of the notice. If they remove the electricity tomorrow, you have to pay 29%.
Right, sir. That I can.
That way only you have to link it.
Okay.
My view.
Your view, yes, sir. Okay. So now we will come to goods. The same facts, goods. Taxable supply, it is not a taxable supply of service, it is a taxable supply of goods. 28 lakhs. Dividend received 8 lakhs. Sale of land 25 lakhs. Interest received 12 lakhs. Huh? No need for registration, but taxable supply of goods is 28 lakhs. Excellent. Only it is more than 40 lakh rupees. 28 plus 12, interest received 12. Interest is exempt supply, correct? Whether to be included or not? Why? It is exempt supply, as he rightly said, 2.6. It includes exempt supply also. Aggregate turnover includes exempt supply, yes or no? Yes or no? Taxable plus exempt. Doesn't exceed 40 lakh. Assuming that for a moment, 13 lakh rupees. If it is 13 lakh rupees, what will happen? 12 lakhs, yes, I agreed. It is not exceeding 40 lakh rupees. Not required to register. 13 lakhs. Yes, sir. For goods is 40 lakhs. For services, 20 lakhs. His point is, sir, goods is not exceeding 40 lakh rupees. But the Act says aggregate turnover more than 40 lakh rupees. Aggregate turnover, it includes exempted supply plus taxable, zero rated, everything. So here, interest is 13 lakh rupees. So 28 plus 13, 41. Yes, sir.
My view still says.
Still says yes. Your view is accepted, sir. Other views? Assuming for a moment, goods is only 28 lakh rupees. These two you avoid it. Goods is only 28 lakh rupees. Interest is alone 14 lakh rupees. 28 plus 14. 42. He said exclusively goods 40 lakh rupees is the limit. But now it is 42. Interest is exempt supply. And taxable supply is 28 lakhs. Aggregate turnover means taxable plus exempted. So taxable plus exempted is more than 40 lakh rupees. Whether the registration is required or not for goods.
Still holds good, sir, as well.
Huh?
I think it still holds good because whether it's goods or services, if this is applied as in the first place, so definitely as an aggregated
Ah.
in that concept, definitely
Yes, section 22 says aggregate turnover is more than 40 lakh rupees.
that distinction between a service or a good doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter at all. That is why this example. That is why goods is 28 lakhs, interest is 14 lakhs. For aggregate turnover, you have to consider only exempt supply. Exempt supply may be service, exempt supply may be goods. Taxable supply, goods, exempt supply may be the goods. So therefore, here the aggregate turnover is 28 plus 14, 42 lakh rupees. So aggregate turnover is more than 40. So therefore, you are required to get registered. Yes, sir? Yes. Any other view? Not required to get registered. Yes?
Interest received is not a business.
Interest received is not a business, but interest received is an exempt supply under the GST law.
But expended is a financial activity, that's financial activity, as well as that's a business. In that case, registration is mandatory.
No, interest is an exempt supply.
Different perspective. Expended as financial activity, financial as a financial provider, as loans and advances.
No, they received the interest through fixed deposit. Assuming that they received the interest for the fixed deposit they made into the bank. They deposit into the bank account. According to me, even for goods 28 plus 14, you are not required to get registered. Why you are not required to get registered? Notification. Section 22 first. You take section 22 and then you will go through the notification. 22 is sufficient, yes. Section 22(1). Every supplier shall be liable to be registered under this act in the state or union territory, from where he makes a taxable supply of goods or services or both, if his aggregate turnover in a financial year exceeds 20 lakh rupees. No doubt about it. Yes? Yes. Now we will come to the goods. Yes, Pakirapa. Provided, section 22, provided also that the government may at the request of a state and on the recommendations of the council enhance the aggregate turnover from 20 lakh rupees to such an amount not exceeding 40 lakh rupees in case of supplier who is engaged exclusively in the supply of goods. Yes? Yes, this is section 22 proviso. 22 proviso says that, yes, in respect of the goods, this limit is increased to 40 lakh rupees. Yes? Yes. Now you see the another explanation. Come to the explanation. For the purpose of this subsection, a person shall be considered to be engaged exclusively in the supply of goods, even if he is engaged in exempt supply of services provided by way of extending the deposit or advances. So, this exempted supply of provided by way of extending the deposit, loans or advances is not required to be included. Yes? So, therefore, now after seeing section 22, whether you are required to get registered, yes or no? No, you are not required to get registered because this exempt supply is not required to be included. But aggregate turnover, yes. But the section for the purpose of registration, it says it is required to be excluded. Yes, sir? Yes, any doubt? Right. Any doubt? Yes, sir?
In case of a partner of a partnership firm, where he receives remuneration and interest, share of profit, and he is also practicing individually. So all these three together is crossing 20 lakhs in the
Yes. See, according to me, share of profit is not a supply. And according to me, remuneration is also not a supply because if you go through, if my remembrance is right, Chidambaram Pillai is 102 ITR. The Supreme Court had held that the remuneration is not it is only an adjustment of a profit. So therefore, that is not to be included for the purpose of turnover. So therefore, I am taking the view from the Supreme Court decision that both partners' remuneration and share of profit is not required to be included. This is my view, sir. Which interest? Interest on partners' capital is loans and advances. There I may differ. Yes, there I may differ.
because for income tax that becomes part of my income under 28.
Yes. See, it is an income under the income tax law. but it is not necessary that should be a supply under the GST law. You have to go through the definition under the GST law and find out, just because it is being credited to the P&L account, that doesn't mean it is a supply on which you are liable to pay the GST. You have to examine independently under the GST law. Yes? Next, case study 10. Whether e-way bill is required for transaction involving supply of services. It is only a supply of services according to schedule 2. Say for example, catering. Catering is a supply of services. Yes or no? Yes. Schedule 2 says it is not a supply of goods, it is only a supply of services. Works contract. Earlier under the erstwhile law, it may be considered as service in one portion and sale of goods in one portion. But now under the GST law, it will be considered as only supply of services. When I am providing a supply of services, there is some necessity for me to transfer the goods also. Correct? Whether I am liable to generate the e-way bill or not. That is a question. First answer, no. Huh? Rule 138. He says no. Yes. Yes, yaar. See, yes illa no illangradha enakku konjam kashama irukku. E-way bill is required. Yaar sir? Yes. Why sir?
Even for supply of services, if you face movement of goods, the e-way bill provision is required.
So,
Supply of services.
yes sir, yes sir.
Hiring, leasing,
Got the point. One no, one yes. The remaining எல்லாம் yes இருக்கலாம், no இருக்கலாம். The remaining members.
based on the explanation, yes.
Based on his explanation, you are also concluding that it required. Any other view? Magesh sir.
Supply of service does not arise e-way.
It is only a service. It is only a service, no e-way bill is required. He is also concurring with the SAR point of view. Any other view?
Sir, I'm an agent responsible for moving goods around, and I'm charging agency fee, commission fee, or that involves movement of goods.
That is a question. You are putting in other words, that's all. That is the question which we are discussing, whether it require e-way bill or not.
Goods and all will not make it as, you won't generate e-way bills for us.
I didn't get you.
Services, for supplying a service, so say you want a service or say any kind of service, and you will not keep having all the tools and all, we can't see even e-way for all.
But catering services, works contract services, that எல்லாம் எடுத்துகிட்டு போவாங்கல்ல, அதுக்கெல்லாம் போட முடியாது சார். வாட் எவர் ரூல் சேஸ், ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு ஃபாலோ த ரூல். மேடம், சம்டைம்ஸ் த கான்ட்ராக்ட், இது கேட்ரிங் கான்ட்ராக்ட்லாம் சம்டைம்ஸ் 1 crore 70 lakhs 80 lakhs இருக்கிறப்ப அந்த சுச்சுவேஷனில் தே ஆர் டேக்கிங் சே within the state 1 lakh rupees, outside the state 50,000 rupees is the limit. If you are taking more than 1 lakh rupees, whether e-way bill is required or not, you have to take certain vessels, yes or no? Works contract services, you have to hiring of crane, plus you have to
Whatever the condition says, just follow it.
Yes. Now go to rule 138.
Anyhow, we are going to file in GSTR 1 with the supply of service that isn't known only, no, sir.
அப்போ e-way bill தேவையில்லையா மேடம்? ஒதுக்கு e-way bill?
That's what the supply of service in may not be.
In any way, we are going to file GSTR 1 3B. Why you need e-way bill? Not necessary. Because they wanted to find out the movement of goods, one. Second, whether it is moving with the proper documentation or not. Second. Third, whether actually you are moving that goods or not, how the department will know. Correct? Yes. Every registered person. So therefore it is applicable only to the registered person who causes the movement of goods of consignment value exceeding 50,000 rupees. Within the state 1 lakh rupees. In relation to a supply or for reason other than the supply, due to inward supply from unregistered person, shall before the commencement of such a movement furnish information relating to said goods as specified. So therefore, the rule 138 is very clear. It doesn't talk about service provider or sale of, it talks about every registered person who causes the movement of goods. So therefore, the catering person is a registered person, he causing the movement of goods. Yes. Or works contract, service provider, yes, he is causing the movement of goods. So therefore, e-way bill is required. E-way bill is required. For even for the person who is providing the services. The next question is, suppose employee. The employee, yes madam.
If he carries only all exempted goods, sir?
So e-way bill, I am carrying only the exempted goods. There is an exemption for e-way bill for exempted goods. Sorry, yes. E-way bill is applicable even for exempted goods. Yes. Because here what it says, every person who causes a movement of goods or consignment value exceeding 50,000 rupees in relation to a supply, along with such other information as may be required. So therefore my view is, whenever there is a movement of goods, but e-way bill, when you are moving an e-way bill, there will not be any exempted goods, there will not be any invoice. It will be only a bill of supply. Correct? You are right, sir. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. So therefore, you are required to generate the e-way bill. Now suppose the employee of the company who is having a laptop, he is transferred from Chennai to Bangalore. Now he is carrying the laptop. Whether he is required to generate the e-way bill, yes or no?
Valueless.
Assuming that value is more than 1 lakh rupees. Every person, but the laptop is in the name of the company, correct?
His company is only causing the movement.
Yes. Yes, sir. For Yoi. Employee and employer, therefore it is not either a supply of goods nor supply of services. Therefore he is not required to generate the e-way bill. Yes.
This is a consultant, sir.
Consultant. Consultant, then he will become the service provider, correct?
Yes.
So whether he is registered or not, yes, he is registered. He is a registered person. He is causing the movement of goods. Yes.
See, we will be traveling to various client premises also. So in that case, whether we need to file e-way bill.
But if you ask me as per the law, yes. But nobody is following it. Yes. Yes. If you ask me as per law, yes. My view is yes. The second is whether the value is more than 1 lakh rupees, less than 1 lakh rupees. Assuming that more than 1 lakh, my view is yes. Next. Next question. When taxable value is rupees 45,000 and IGST is rupees 8,100, whether e-way bill is required? Within the state 1 lakh rupees, within the state 1 lakh rupees, outside the state 50,000 rupees. Now, taxable supply is only 45. Less than 50. And IGST. That means interstate sale. E-way bill is required. Total value. Yes. Any other view? So rule 138 defines what is a consignment value. Consignment value, it includes tax also. CGST, HGST, IGST also. Therefore, you have to see invoice value will be the basis. Once the invoice value is more than 1 lakh or 50,000 rupees, you are required to generate the e-invoice. You are required to generate e-way bill. Yes? Yes. Next. Yes, this is the next case study. We will discuss later. 12. Next, very big case study. 13 we leave it. 12, 13. We will discuss later. Case study 14. On the basis of recently issued the circular, Mr. Akash, who had cancelled the flat in 2022, but did not receive the GST amount back from the builder, intend to apply for the refund amount of the GST paid, which amount to rupees 5,40,000. His CA has said that he is not eligible for refund now, as 2 years have elapsed from the date of cancellation. Since you are the GST expert and consultant, he has approached you for the probability and eligibility of a refund. See, normally what will happen, if it is within the time period for raising the credit note, then in such a situation, the builder himself, he will reduce it and he will give you the whatever he has received from you plus GST, he will give it to you. But suppose if it is after the time period stipulated in section 34, then in such a situations, what we have to do?
Apply for condonation and the release.
Apply for condonation. 2 years elapsed. In section 54, you have to file it within 2 years, correct? For refund, you have to file it within 2 years. But the 2 years period is expired. Builder also not possible because it is related to, assuming that it is related to 31/3/2021, cancelled in 2022. So the time period for adjusting by issuing the credit note is also over. What would be your advice? Mr. Akash approached you. Mary Katita, 1 crore rupees plus 5% GST, 1 crore 5 I gave it to the builder. Builder says, I will refund you 1 crore because I already paid the GST to the department. Yes. The transaction is after 1 year, I cannot make any adjustments. Credit note can be issued only within the time stipulated under the law. So therefore, that period is expired. Therefore, I cannot give you the tax. I cannot give you the tax. I will give you the whatever the amount is. You have given us an advances, I will return it. But I will not return it the tax. But Akash paid the tax to the government. Builder paid the tax to the government. Now, Akash, what he can do? Time period of 2 years also expired.
He has not raised the taxable invoice.
Who?
The builder has not raised it.
Builder already raised the tax invoices and he has paid the tax. It is a service provider, therefore, advance received is also subject to GST.
In that case, that he has not raised the invoice.
Not necessary, sir.
Not necessary, but that may be the case, he has to refund.
Why?
Because it is an only advance. He
Ah.
kept us an advance. When he has reversed it, anytime he can reverse it.
But the Act says service provided. From the date of service provided, 2 years you have to calculate. He has already provided. He received advance, but he has started. Why he received advance from you? He started the construction, no? He started providing services to you.
Then he has to raise an invoice.
Who?
See, part of the
Say builder, normally they will not raise any invoices. They will only enter an agreement with the builder, and there will be a stipulation. First phase, second phase, third, fourth, like that it will be there. So therefore, the service is already provided to the extent of 1 crore. No doubt about it. Otherwise, you will not give 1 crore. As per the agreement, it says that 10% you have to give within 1 month, 20% you have to give another 1 month or 2 months, like that. So therefore, the service is provided, construction also started. Now he is cancelling the agreement. Builder is very clear. I will give you 1 crore, no problem at all. 5 crore I already remitted to the government. I will not give it to you. What is the option is available to Mr. Akash? What he can do? He is an individual. He approached you. No option.
Where he has cancelled that advance,
Ah.
somebody is going to book you.
Correct.
So that case, that may be the case that you can adjust.
How the builder can adjust? Builder, he cannot adjust in the books of accounts.
He has received an advance for which already paid.
He has already paid to the government, That agreement is cancelled. Now another person is coming and he has to pay. That also he will.
You can refund it.
Not possible. Maybe theoretically it may be right. But
Akash is registered person or not?
Akash is an individual, not registered. He is a individual buyer.
Individual cannot claim a refund.
Individual cannot claim the refund, yes. Any other view? Now only அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் இன்ட்ராக்ஷன் வருது. கேஸ் ஸ்டடி முடிகிற டயத்தில் இன்ட்ராக்ஷன்.
Only no, sir, we can.
அது வேணாம் மேடம். B2C சேல் தானே நம்ம இங்கே அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிக்கலான்றேன். அதெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியாது. எஸ், அதனால தான் கொஸ்டின் கேட்டிருக்காங்க. சார் இது B2Bயா B2Cயான்னு. B2Cயாக இருந்தால் பரவாயில்ல. இந்த வருஷம் 1 கோடி அதில் ஒரு 1 lakh லெஸ் பண்ணு. பேலன்ஸ் 99 lakhs. Yes, circular. There is one circular. There is one circular number 188. It says, prescribed manner of filing an application for refund by an unregistered person. Yes, it says, see, instances have been brought to the notice where the unregistered buyer who had entered into an agreement with a builder for supply of services, construction of building, etc., paid the amount towards the consideration for such services either fully or partially, along with applicable tax, had to get the said contract agreement cancelled. Subsequently, due to non-completion or delay in construction activities, in number of such cases, the period of issuance of the credit note on account of such a cancellation of services under section 34 may already got elapsed. In such cases, supplier may refund the amount to the buyer after deducting the amount of tax collected from him. So that is the situation, correct? Yes. Now, similar situation may also arise in case of long-term policies, insurance policies. Next one. Representation. Now, it will be pertinent to mention that subsection 54(1) of the CGST Act already provides that any person can claim refund of any amount, any tax and interest, if any, paid on such a tax or any other amount paid by him by making an application before the expiry of 2 years from the relevant date in such a form and such a manner as may be prescribed. So, you can make an application within 2 years. And it further says that, in cases where the contract agreement for supply of services of construction flat has been cancelled or long-term policy has been terminated, a new functionality has also been made that individually is required to get registered by giving his PAN number. These are all possible. Yes, yes. Yes. In order to ensure the uniformity, yes. Refund under section in cases where the contract for has been is cancelled or when insurance, right, the registration process. Next. Form GST, yes, next. Next. The relevant date. Here it says, if the contract is cancelled, terminated before the completion of services for any reason, relevant date of issuance of the letter of cancellation, date of issue of the letter of cancellation or the agreement, it will be considered as a date of service. Yes. So therefore, what is the date of cancellation? That is the date of service. Yes. From the 2 years already expired. So the circular also very clearly says that you have to apply within 2 years. Correct? The circular says very clearly you have to apply within 2 years. But in my case, what happened? The date of cancellation is 2022. But in 2024, I have to apply. I didn't apply. I am applying in 2026. Now, what is the precautions available? What I can do? Yes.
Sir, I can get the builder to issue a revised letter of cancellation, final letter,
Huh?
and employ additional credit time period.
He has already issued, but you didn't take action. Again, you cannot ask him, no? இல்லை சார் அவரை வந்து டேட் வந்து ப்ரீடேட் பண்ண சொல்லுங்கள், போஸ்ட் டேட் பண்ண சொல்லுங்கள், அதெல்லாம் வேண்டாம். Is it possible for him? Circular also says very clearly 2 years time period. Yes. Yes or no? From the date of cancellation. Cancellation is 2022. 2024 he has to, in 2000, assuming that today is 2026. 2026 he approached you. Please give me some advice. The amount involved is 5,40,000 rupees. Yes. There will be no adjustment.
No, there is another more class amount is less than something.
That is 1,000 rupees. Next month. Less than 1,000 rupees, I think so. Next. 1,000 rupees. Yes, as per circular, as per law, you have to file it within 2 years. He didn't file it within 2 years. Therefore, it is not possible for him to get the refund. But according to me, you can approach the High Court saying that it is being is cancelled. Correct? It is being is cancelled. He has already paid the tax to the government. Therefore, you have to give me the refund. There are certain decisions in favor of the person, even though the period is expired more than 2 years. There are certain decisions. Yes? Yes.
Sir, in this case, no, if the circular started like for unregistered person, if in the same example, if Akash is a registered person
What will happen?
and he has to cancel the flat,
Akash is a registered person. He cancelled the flat.
he'll get the credit.
Ah.
Credit.
How he will get? Say credit time period is over. Suppose credit time period is over. What will happen to the registered? This circular is only for unregistered person. Registered person, you have to get the adjustment within the time period. Otherwise, for him also there is no, he has to apply for refund for 2 years. That is possible. If he has not applied, then the same. He can go to the court saying that, no, sir, I have to apply within 2 years. I didn't apply within 2 years. These are all the reasons.
So, the registered person has to get refund only, not as by way of credit, not from the
If the time period is there, they can issue the credit note. In our example, the time period is already over. Section 34 is over. If there is a time period for issuing the credit note, no doubt at all, both for registered and unregistered, possible. Because the builder is going to reduce his output tax liability and he is going to give it to you, no problem at all. If it happened after 1 year, then in such situations, what will happen? Okay? Yes.
The High Court rule is applicable for all the cases then, sir, even for exports, all the cases.
Yes. You can approach. There are various decisions. In respect of unregistered, there are various decisions. It says that the High Court directed the department to give the refund. Yes? Yes. Next. It's an interesting case study. XYZ is in Rajasthan. It has customers in Chennai. And whenever it receives an order from customers, it takes 3 days to get the goods delivered in Chennai. To reduce the lead time, it entered an agreement with the ABC, who has a warehouse in Chennai. There are two possible arrangements. We will discuss first and then we will go for second. Okay? Mrs. ABC is applying a warehouse space where the grant to Mrs. XYZ is of right to use a specific area of warehouse or storage for the exclusive use of the Mrs. XYZ to store the goods, and a right to access to the storage area is granted. Yes? The question is, what is a place of supply? What is a place of supply? See, XYZ is in Rajasthan. Yes? He is a supplier. There are certain customers in Chennai. So each and every time he sends the goods from Rajasthan to Chennai. So therefore, what he did now, to reduce the lead time, it entered an agreement to the ABC, who has a warehouse in Chennai. Now, the warehouse is, there is a specific space, there is an agreement is entered, and XYZ, they have to store the goods in the warehouse. Now you tell me, what is the place of supply? One, whether XYZ is registered in Chennai. Second, just because they are having the warehouse, that is a subsequent question. So therefore, first we will examine what is the place of supply for XYZ. XYZ is in Rajasthan, yes? Goods will be moved from XYZ to the warehouse.
It's a bill to ship to transaction.
No, not bill to ship to. Goods moved from XYZ to ABC warehousing. From ABC warehousing, he will sell. Yes, from ABC warehousing, he sell the goods. Now the question is first, the ABC warehousing, whether they will charge CGST, SGST or IGST. What they will charge? CGST, SGST. XYZ is situated in where? Whether they can claim credit? Whether they can claim credit? Okay. So the place of supply, first case A. What is the place of supply for ABC to raise invoices on XYZ?
It is a rental. So, with respect to rental, it is a immovable property. The place of immovable property is
Where situated? Yes.
they have to charge IGST.
They have to charge IGST or ABC.
The property is located in Chennai, so it is a place of supply where the property is located. So
Correct.
it is GST.
Okay. So property where it is situated? It is situated in Chennai, correct? ABC, who is a supplier? Who is a supplier? For warehousing, who is a supplier? ABC. So ABC is in Chennai, correct? For property, you have to see the place of supply where the property is situated. So property is situated in Chennai. Therefore, ABC will charge only CGST, SGST. Sir, no? But XYZ is in Rajasthan. ABC will charge only CGST, SGST. Whether XYZ can get the credit? No credit is possible. Yes. Why it is only immovable property, sir? Why? Because the agreement is very clearly says right to use a specific area of a warehouse. Yes, sir? Yes. So therefore it is directly related to the immovable property. Yes. Because they are giving the area, you can store the goods. Now we will come to second. The storage of goods where Mrs. ABC does not grant any right to a specific area for the exclusive use of, yes sir. The second case, in the second case, Dorka, Kamalesh. In the second case, it doesn't talks about the specific area, but it allow XYZ to store the goods. Yes, to store the goods. In a second example, what is the place of supply?
So how will the ABC raise invoice for rental?
That is whether ABC will charge CGST, SGST or IGST. First situation we decided it is in relation to immovable property, therefore CGST, SGST. Second situation,
It's like a cold storage unit.
it is only a storage. They are not allowing any specific space. So they are allowing it to store the goods without giving any right to use the space. The storage of the goods where Mrs. ABC does not grant a right to specific area for the exclusive use, nor a right of access to the storage area. They will allow you only to store the goods, you have to come out. That's all. It is only for, it is not a specific area. Today they may say here, tomorrow there. So there is no specific area at all. Then in such situations, what will happen? What is the place? Still it is an immovable property. So therefore, CGST, SGST. Yes. Any other view? Any other view?
If the right to access is given only, then it will be considered as a
the agreement doesn't say anything about the immovable property. It doesn't talks about any specific usage or right to use specific area. So therefore, it is not connected with directly with the immovable property. So therefore, it is not in relation to immovable property. Therefore, it is not CGST, AGST. Then which rule will be applicable?
Outside, unless we find it.
Huh? Then which rule will be applicable?
The place of registration of the receiver.
See, you have to go into the place of supply rule. Place of supply rule for section 12 because both supplier and recipient is in India. So therefore, section 12 is applicable. For section 12, first 12.1, it talks about location of the recipient. Yes. So therefore, in this case, the location of the recipient. Who is the recipient in this case? Who is a supplier? ABC is a supplier. Who is the recipient? XY is the. So supplier is in Chennai, recipient is in Rajasthan. Therefore, the transaction will be IGST, interest rate. So therefore, he will charge only IGST. In such a situation, what will happen? Rajasthan can claim credit. Credit. He can claim credit is only an IGST, but earlier example, they cannot claim the credit. So therefore, in respect of immovable property, you have to enter an agreement accordingly. Or otherwise, what you have to do? In the first example, they have to raise the invoices from ABC. From ABC warehousing, XYZ. XY, what they have to first send the goods to the warehouse. There they will charge IGST. And then from there, they will sell to the various customers. Correct? So in such a situation, they can take the credit of CGST, IGST in relation to immovable property. Whether XYZ is required to take a registration. Suppose assuming that they are storing the goods in the warehouse. Whether they are required to get registered, yes or no? According to me, it is a place of business. From there, they are going to supply the goods. So therefore, yes, they are required to get registered. Yes, sir? Next. Yes, sir?
The ABC is registered in Chennai. So
Next.
the ABC is not registered in Chennai.
Ah.
It is also having a registered number in Mumbai. Then in the first scenario, whether it will be IGST or CGST for ABC.
No. Say, XYZ is in?
Leave it the XYZ, sir.
Ah.
ABC. He is having a immovable property in Chennai.
Okay.
But he is also not having a registration in Chennai.
Okay.
He is having registration in Mumbai.
According to me, that is sufficient.
Okay.
According to me, that is sufficient.
Then he is required to
He will charge only IGST.
IGST.
Correct. Yes.
Sir, in this case, when you said XYZ is going to take registration for the supply of goods. In
Ah.
this case, we are going to have a registration in Tamil Nadu. The first example, no, sir. Then
They can take the credit.
Yeah.
That is why I discussed. I also told you the same. So once they get registered in Chennai, so first transaction from XYZ to warehouse, IGST. Correct. First the goods will reach in warehousing. From warehousing, if XYZ sell it, there will be outward supply. So this CGST, IGST, that they can utilize it.
There is no concept of immovable property IGST.
Huh?
Immovable property, there is no concept of IGST. I think some Mumbai, where the property is situated, that state only is to charge tax CGST, GST, on immovable property.
Okay, sir.
Anywhere in India, it is immediate.
Sir.
That is the immovable property.
Okay. Sir, suppose I am registered in Chennai. Okay. I have one commercial property in Bangalore. Okay. In such a situation, whether you want me to register in Bangalore?
Definitely.
According to me, no, sir. The reason is, say, immovable property talks about only the place of supply. Where is a place of supply? Where the immovable property is situated is a place of supply. I agree your point. Property situated in Bangalore, therefore place of supply is in Bangalore. The property situated in Mumbai, therefore place of supply is in Mumbai. But where is a supplier? Supplier is in Chennai. Place of supply is Mumbai, place of supply is Bangalore, therefore the supplier can raise IGST.
No. It is, you have to get registered. For example, I'll take on this point. A non-resident is there.
Huh?
A non-resident is there.
Okay.
He has a business in India.
Okay.
So last is
Non-resident.
Appoint someone for his business and you have to get registered.
Yes, because non-registered is not at all registered in India. Therefore, non-registered he has to appoint agent and he has to get it registered. But here, okay sir, here in India, I am registered already in Chennai. I have certain property in Bangalore, Karnataka, Hyderabad. It is not required for me to register in each and every state. I am the supplier in Chennai, but my property is in various states. So therefore, I will raise IGST to my tenant. That tax, CGST plus GST will go to the concerned state, that's all. So therefore, according to me, you are not required to get registered where the property is situated. We have handled 2 or 3 cases also. Sir, I respect your views also. There are other views, but this is my view. The supplier is in Chennai, property is in various states. He is not required to get registered in various states. He can raise IGST invoice. Yes, sir? Yes. Yes, madam, your doubt is clear? Yes. The next. Mr. X is a director of Rainbow Unicorn Private Limited, Rainwear Private Limited, and Sporting India Private Limited. Mr. Y, the father of Mr. X, very interesting case, holds a significant shares in Rainbow Unicorn Limited compared to Mr. X, who holds a nominal share capital. To take control of the company, Mrs. Rainbow, Mr. X ensued a legal battle with his father. Mrs. Y, Mr. X has hired the top lawyers in the country to fight his case in the Honorable Madras High Court. Next. Have you gone through this? Yes. Yes? The lawyer issues the invoices in the name of Mr. X. Mr. X has paid the lawyer fee through company. Mr. X paid the lawyer fees through company Mrs. Rainwear Private Limited bank accounts. In view of the above facts, Mr. X wants to know the GST implications. Got the point? Yes? First book. Mr. X is a director. His father is also a director. There are certain legal backs because he wanted to take the control of the company. Mr. X appointed some lawyer. The lawyer raised the invoices on Mr. X. Mr. X, what he did? He directed the company to pay the fees. Now, RCM, who is liable to pay the tax? That is the first question.
On the case of the company,
Company only paid it. Invoice raised by the lawyer on Mr. X. Correct? Mr. X is a director of the company. He told the company, no, you pay to the advocate. The company paid it. The company books of accounts, it is being shown as a legal expenditure in the books of accounts. Now the officer issued the notice saying that you have incurred the legal expenses of rupees 10 lakhs. You are liable to pay the GST under RCM. Question is whether Mr. X is liable to pay, assuming that Mr. X is also in the business. He is not an individual. Mr. X is also in the business. So assuming that Mr. X is also in the business, in such a situation, who is liable to pay the GST, whether Mr. X or the company? That is the question. Company. Why company, sir? No. I am very clear. No. Invoice is raised in the name of Mr. X.
So actually, in freight, GTA and all, whoever pays a freight has to pay RCM. So same can be applied here also.
No, it cannot be applied.
But X is ordered for it in his capacity as a director.
So it is on behalf.
Direct, say law firm raise the invoice on Mr. X only. Okay. Mr. X what did? He is a director of the company. So our company கூப்பிட்டு the legal expenses pay பண்ணுங்கன்றாங்க. The company paid it. It is being shown as a legal expenditure in the books of accounts of the company.
X only has to pay, sir, because the invoice is in.
X only, but he has not paid it. In his books of Mr. X books of accounts, there is no legal expenses.
So anyhow, as the company is going to pay, like indirectly, for example, if X is going to receive some director in the bill, it's going to be adjusted against this payment. Nobody will go pay.
So is that an interpretation
Oh, you are going more on accounts each and every time.
The lawyer is the guy who is getting the income,
Yes.
right? And he's charging it on an individual. So should he not be paying that?
Huh?
No, legal service RC to the
Should he not be incurring that?
Yes, sir. Any view? Yes, sir.
Assumed by the company only.
RCM paid by the company only. Why, sir?
Because the company has assumed the liability.
Company not received the service. Correct. But officer very clear. Officer says legal expenses in the name of the company. So therefore you pay me RCM.
Sir, how come if there is no bill invoice, etc., how can I make it?
Company paid it. That's all. That is the facts.
They have assumed the liability.
Yeah. They assumed the liability.
Company has subsumed the
But invoice is in the name of Mr. X. They would have debited the director account. Correct, sir? Very good, sir. Correct. I agreed. Who is liable to pay? Yes. This time you have to answer. This is very tough question. All the question I answered. This question I am not going to answer. You have to give me the answer.
If they are going to make it as an expense in books, they have to pay that.
Ah.
If they are going to make
But the
it-
company says I didn't receive the service.
then they cannot make it as an expense.
He is rightly right. The company passed on wrong entry in the books of accounts. Instead of debiting the director account, it debited the legal expenses account. Correct, sir? Personal legal fees exempt. For advocate is exempt. For a company, under RCM it is. For director, I am very clear in my facts. Director is also in the business. That I told you. I want it always complicate. Then otherwise you will say, sir, this is Mr. X, sir, individual, sir. Individual to legal advocate to individual is exempt through wide notification number 12/2017. No.
This expense is not for the purpose of furtherance of the business. It's not relating to the business. This is the shareholders.
Company debited as a legal expenditure. The auditor is also signed it. Once it is debited in the P&L account, auditor signed it. It is a business expenditure. How can you say that now it is not a business expenditure? You have to answer for these questions. I am expecting answer because this is a case I am dealing now.
The service is not rendered to the company.
Services not rendered to the company. So,
That is a question of RCM.
no question of RC. But P&L account, there is a legal expenses debited. What will?
Revise the account, sir, debit directly.
You cannot debit the account. Already AGM, everything was passed. AGM and everything was passed. We'll pay the RCM. Next question is, once you pay the RCM, I don't want to come now. I will come later. Yes, sir. Magesh. Madam. Because the legal battle is between two individuals.
Receiver is liable to pay tax on RCM, sir. In this case, only X is the service receiver. There is no point whether who has paid it. Only in income tax we have the person responsible to make a payment. Here, we are not having any such clause saying the person responsible to make a payment. So, X is only liable to pay RCM.
But in the X books, there is no legal expenses at all.
That we see later, sir. Now, in respect of notice for the private limited company, we have to say this.
Officer issued the notice to private company.
We'll go for appeal.
An accounting error does not trigger the liability.
Accounting entry does not require. You wanted to quote. There are certain Supreme Court says that accounting entry is not the basis for the liability. So therefore, You cannot base only on the accounting entries. Madam said, no, sir, X he has to pay. In the X P&L account, no legal expenses at all. How he will pay?
But also it is not a business, it is only a personal.
He has debited the P&L account.
Now it is a company that whatever he says to bring to the accounting entries is not there. So once it comes to an X is a personal expense.
No, X is also in the business. That is why I told you.
He is also in the business,
Ah.
it is a separate business or same business.
He has not debited in his P&L.
Nothing wrong, it is only in personal nature.
It is only the personal nature. So,
The only RCM is arises for him, he need not register it. He is not any taxable services, he is not required.
he is having a taxable services, taxable goods. That is the facts.
That is what, sir, it is not related to that business of.
It is not necessary, sir. Legal expenses, it should be related to only outward supply. No, as long as it is an expenditure related to your business, it is you are liable under RCM.
This is personal nature.
No, yes, not at all. In his books of account, it is not there. Because the company only paid it, correct? Company bank account, it has gone. Company debited the legal expenses.
So what he is saying is, excess, that legal expenses might be paid or payable, but it is to my personal. The legal case is on my personal, no? So how can it be connected with my GST, and that's what he was trying to say.
But he thinks it is a business expenditure because he wanted to control the company and therefore it is connected to his business. Therefore, it is not a personal expenses. So it is related to the company. So he always tried to say that it is a business
Invoice
expenditure.
has to be raised in the name of the company.
The invoice to be raised in the name of the company. In the facts, it is not so.
That's what I
So what is the conclusion, sir?
That you have to tell. All the case studies I told you, from the beginning. That is why I told you at the end, there are certain case studies you have to answer. What is the answer, sir?
No, I think X only, sir.
X only. Why, sir?
Is the recipient of service.
Yes.
Same thing I told, sir.
But you told, recipient of service. But no legal expenditure in the books. Yes. So according to me, Mr. X is a recipient. No doubt, it is not being debited to the profit and loss account. Just because it is debited to the profit and loss account of the company, that doesn't mean it is an expenditure incurred by the company. As he rightly said, they could have debited to the director accounts. Instead, there are certain entry they have passed wrongly. But that doesn't mean that the company received the service. That is my view. And if you go through the location of the recipient, section 293, the definition, please go through section 293. Who is the recipient of the services? Recipient of the services, they are liable to pay under RCM. Yes or no? Yes. The recipient of the service is defined. It says, case study. Yes. Where consideration is payable for the supply of goods or services, the person who is liable to pay that consideration. Here, who is liable to pay the consideration? Mr. X. No doubt. Company is not at all is liable because there is no contract between the company and the law firm. The contract is between the law firm and Mr. X. So therefore, Mr. X is a recipient. Therefore, Mr. X is liable to pay under RCM, not by the company. Yes, sir? Yes, got the point. Now the next question is, the company paid under RCM, whether the company is eligible for ITC.
Whatever I paid, I can.
Whatever I paid, sir, I am eligible to claim.
Sir, the service itself is not received. How can I?
One of the condition in section 16 is, you should receive
No, but as a
the goods or services. In this case, no service, no goods at all. It is only mere entry, yes. Yes, sir? No credit. My view is no credit. Yes? Next.
Sir, I have doubt in this. If this X is unregistered,
X is unregistered, then it is exempt, no?
so even in that,
The services provided by the lawyer to an individual is exempt through notification number 12/2017. So no RCM. That is why I told you Mr. X is in the business. You will raise this question, I know.
that's a partner property value is quite high. So the legal fees is also quite high. They paid the money from the
Firm.
company.
See, all they will do it now. See, they will try to show it as an expenditure in the books of accounts of the firm. But the property is purchased in the name of
All the four partners.
four partners. But whether the fund is used by the source of fund from the company, it will be appeared in your balance sheet, firm balance sheet, yes or no? Then it is company liability. Company books of accounts, company is only the recipient.
If we make it as an expense in our books, then it is liable. Like if it is debited to the partner's capital account.
Okay.
The individuals are.
Say your entry will not decide, sir. Say I have incurred legal expenses of 1 crore. So instead of debiting to the, I will debit to the capital account. What will happen? According to me, you received the service. You cannot pass an entry, saying that, no, sir, I have not incurred. I will debit to the partner's capital account, or I will show it as in some other accounts. So as long as you received the services, my view is you are subject to RCM.
But
Yes.
the firm has not received this.
Firm only received. Firm purchased the property.
No, not firm. In the partner's name only property registered.
Yeah, that is why I asked you whether this asset is in the name of the firm or not. I asked you the question. It is not in the firm. The asset is not in the name of the firm. Then in such a situation, it is individual property. Then you can take a stand. Firm is not the recipient, only the individual is the
We can
recipient.
appropriate the legal expenses between the three partners who are registered and pay RCM in their accounts. Even if, like our four partners are, three are registered, one is not.
Okay.
So in which case we can appropriate.
According to me, the three it will be applicable. Yes. One is not applicable. One is they can take a stand. The services provided by a law firm to an individual is exempt. Okay. RCM on the MO, whether the department can demand GST, yes. The company has availed the ITC. The next question is, assuming the company pays GST under RCM on the above transaction, whether the department can again demand GST from Mr. X. Yes or no? Yes or no? They collect everywhere. See, according to me, they have to collect it only from Mr. X. Correct. The company already paid. You can't take a stand saying that it is a double taxation. Yes. If want, company can claim the refund or they can go for further. But according to me, only Mr. X is liable to pay under RCM. So therefore, the department will always insist Mr. X to pay it. If the company is paid it, the company they have to see whether they can claim the refund or not. Yes. Next. This we have already discussed. Next. This is our question. Correct? Mr. A is a chartered accountant and is also a director in a company. Mrs. UVW Limited. Mr. A is providing a professional services and filing of return to Mrs. UVW Limited in the capacity of a chartered accountant. The company Mrs. UV Limited desired to know whether Mrs. UV Limited is required to discharge GST under RCM. 13/2017, that notification, take it. Any services provided by the director to the company under RCM, yes or no? Yes. Services provided by the director in the capacity of a director to the company subject to RCM. Yes or no? Yes. Enga maru? Yes. Services supplied by a director of a company or a body of corporate to the said company or the body of corporate. Supplier is a director of a company. Recipient is a body of corporate. So therefore, the body of corporate is liable to pay under RCM. Yes. So now the question is, Mr. X is a director of a company. Correct? So there are certain fees he is receiving from the company that is subject to RCM. No doubt about it. Yes. He is also receiving salary. Whether the salary is subject to RCM? No, because it is under employer-employee relationship. Mr. X is also a chartered accountant. So what he did, he filed the income tax return, GST return, and also helped for scrutiny assessment and GST audit, and he raised an invoice of 5 lakh rupees. The company now asks you the questions, whether the company is liable to pay under RCM. Why not? Only show it. See, services supplied by a director of a company to the said company A director of a company is a supplier, a recipient is the company or a body of corporate. He has not done in the capacity of a director. Yes. Any other view, sir? But he is a director of the company. That is why he got,
Thank you, sir. On behalf of SIRC of ICAI, I thank you, sir, for your time and effort in sharing your knowledge with us. We hope the session provided you with valuable knowledge and deeper understanding.